Good morning, church. It's good to be with you today. Today we start James chapter 5, and James begins this with a kind of an abrupt shift from what he's been talking about, from encouragement now to almost a condemning voice. But he says, "Come now, you rich people, weep and wail over the miseries that are coming on you. Your wealth is rotted, your clothes are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver are corroded, and their corrosion will be a witness against you, and will eat your flesh like fire. You have stored up treasure in the last days." So we remember that we're told to store up our treasures in heaven, where moth and rust cannot destroy them, but our God will give us a good reward. They're the foundation of the reward that we're going to get. And here, James tells us, indeed, the folks that are rich and have lived luxuriously while they are on this earth have stored up a certain treasure for themselves, but it's as one storing up their fat for the day of slaughter. This reminds us that our wealth, our riches, the material possessions that we have are ultimately not to be used for our own pleasures, but rather to pour out for others, to give to the good and to the work of God. Way back in Deuteronomy, we read that God says, when you come to the festival, the annual festival, bring the 10%, and 90% you can spend on whatever you want. But 10% belongs to the Lord. That was the tithe, and there's different tithes throughout the year, and they add up to like a 23 some percent of the annual income of an individual is given in different gifts and things. But we remember that we're not under the law, and so we don't really have to track percentages because that's not what's required. But we remember that God's heart never changes. And the whole point of these gifts was, one, they were supporting the Levites, and they were showing gratitude, sacrificing of what we have to show gratitude to God. And so that's the heart of these gifts, to support those who aren't able to support themselves, and to really just love the people that God wants us to demonstrate love to. If we just hoard them, they'll be like moth-eaten things, and they will set us on fire, which we don't want to have happen. So remember to open your hands today. Ask God for the wisdom that James offers. James says that God offers to us. And say, God, how do you want me to use what I have for your glory and for your purposes? I love you, church, and we'll talk to you soon again.